Well, hello everyone. Okay. So I am trying to I'm still setting up for a second. There we go. Okay. So how is everyone today? I am still need to get this positioned a little bit better, closer to the light. There we go. How is everyone today out there? I'm always on a little early, but that's a good thing. Yeah, when I'm traveling on the highway in my car, getting to a destination and then getting on this, sometimes that's a little bit of a challenge. So I think that's good right there. Okay. So now we don't have a whole lot of people on yet today. And I just got my coffee. So I'm just going to lay out what we're going to do today. And it's it's going to be a lot of fun. I just want to make sure my pen's here. Yeah. So I am going to start off with a little story about how, look at this hair. Probably should have put my hat on. But I'm going to start out with a little story how I came to do the Bridges project. And it started last Friday night. I had a dream of a very specific bridge building. It was an ancient old bridge. It was a building right on a bridge. So I had a dream, and it was and I had done the bridge building in fabric. I did it as a wall piece. So and I know I'm repeating this for some people, but I did it as a wall piece in my dream. And then I did another one in the dream of my house that I grew up in. So I did those two. And then the next day, Saturday night, excuse me, there was an email from a local art exhibit asking me to be in the exhibit, and the theme was bridges or bridge buildings. So that's why this is a go, and I am working on this project. So the first thing I want to share with you before we even get into the project is my fabrics that I've gotten recently. So some of these have been shared over on Patreon, and some of them you haven't seen. So this one I want to share in particular because it's a beautiful, beautiful piece, and it was actually a curtain. And I took these pieces here of the curtain and used them as little saddlebags on my latest project I did on the polar bear. And so I posted an image of the polar bear for everyone to see over on Patreon. And it's really cute. It's a mama polar bear with the baby polar bears, and it's just adorable. So this piece I had gotten at the thrift shop, and I'm just checking over on the other page here. Okay. So I had gotten it at the thrift shop, and $2, and it's like a Muslim. And so I think I did share these with you, but I'm just showing you again because I want to show you what I got gifted after I ended up with these, right? So I had gotten this at the thrift shop, and I thought this might be a great piece to add because it's silky to our basket projects. If I do any of the basket projects, oh, let me say good morning down here. Here we go. Okay. And then this is a beautiful soft blue cotton. And this is also, this was like a dollar. That's another beautiful, beautiful piece. So these are pieces I purchased at the thrift shop. Now, what I got gifted to me while I was at the mill at the art guild, not the mill, are all of these. And these, I'm going to put this down so you can see. I mean, these are basically untouched. So, um, and they're cotton. Now, I'm going to tell you, um, some of these are definitely this is vintage. This is definitely a vintage piece. Um, and there's a lot of it. So, and it's white with the little flowers. It's kind of a summery design going on there. This, excuse me, this is a green paisley and almost a Christmassy type of deal going on. And this is a nice maroon, um, beautiful, maybe for a fall design or I mean, it could be fall, it could be winter, it could be summer with the right designs. This could be summer. So now this is a beautiful, beautiful blue. And if you look closely at it, this is vintage. This is tiny little flowers. And here's more of the Christmassy. And then this is another beautiful blue. And you can tell the blues are vintage because they're a little bit lighter. I mean, this one is darker, but that's not contemporary. This is lighter, you can see. But these are both older pieces for sure. So we got that. And okay, now the project. Um, and I don't see anyone out there. If anybody jumps on and has any questions, let me know. Um, so with this, I've got these pieces that I thought I'd share with you that you could use as a base. Because what this is going to be, hey, Brianna, yeah, here we are on YouTube, keeping our faith. We made it Thursday. It's almost the weekend, and time is flying. I'm telling you, this week went by fast. But before we begin, kind of like looking at bridges, and I'm going to share with you the bridge that I actually was in my dream and that I had actually did an art project on that I didn't even know existed until I researched. But so this project, we're just really beginning, Brianna. Um, I just shared some thrift shop things and things I got gifted, some fabrics that I got generously gifted. Um, that I'm going to take a picture of these and throw them on Patreon. But another artist gave me like a ton of fabric because she's not using them, and someone had gifted her in the family with the fabric. So she ended up giving it to me. But I've got all kinds of designs there. So I'll take pictures of those. And those are great for the wall hangings, for the backings, um, especially when they have paisley design, or or these could end up in Boro Sashiko easily. So now, so the bridge will be like it will be a wall hanging, it will be a table mat, it will be anything that you want it to be. So the type of fabrics that might work for you, and granted, I believe I'm making the bridge and the bridge buildings, and, I'm going to share with you how I'm gonna lay out that design, but, this is a very simple table linen piece, and you see the fringes are already on there. It's already set. There's nothing you need to do with this piece. What's it got? Oh, that's a piece of yarn. Typical around here. But and it's cotton. So there's a this is perfect. Of course that's the tag there, so maybe that's the back. But it's perfect if you want an already fringe on there. It's already there. So that's a and plus it's plaid and it has the lines on there can be used as guide lines for you. Okay. So that's an idea for one. This one I've shown you a few times and I like it because it's a little lighter in the color. It's actually so beautiful. I, I haven't covered it because I really love this. This design at the bottom actually complements and I believe goes with this beautiful tan, beautifully woven cotton piece. But this is a nice piece because you could draw on it. And so that is how I'm going to begin my bridge is I will be first drawing. Now, let me show you something else. This jumped out at me too. So I want to give you a few ideas. This piece I've shown you before. This is a thrift shop piece. And I'm going to hold this. I got to move this little mouse. This mouse is 25 years old. 25, maybe older. It could be older. But anyway, I got to revive it. This, if you can see the top stitching to create the embroidery, to create the design, the top stitching, quilted, beautiful. And the reason I liked this is because it's got the backing, it's a pillowcase, but the backing is open. And I'm thinking, what a beautiful piece to use to, if I want to put batting in here, how easy it would be to just add the batting. Really, it's like I would be doing my Boro Sashiko design, and then I add the batting. But anyway, so what I love about this piece as I think about the bridge is the texture. This is textured. And so it's a beautiful design going on here. And it would be a beautiful, just beautiful background. So that's an idea. And then the other thing I've got here is this. This is also textured. And this is a thrift shop table mat. And this is a woven, this is machine woven. This is a machine manufactured piece. But it's a beautiful piece. It's layered also. So it's lovely. And if you look at it, you almost have, look, the bridge buildings are on either side of the bridge. You kind of got a little layout going on already. And that's perfectly fine to use guides like that. Use that to create your design in it or around it. So these are some ideas. I am not sure which one I'm using. And I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like I'm going to take a piece, and I don't know if it's a textured piece. I'm probably going to start with this. Um, and I'm going to lightly draw. I'm just going to tell you the method and then show you the bridge and some other bridges. But I probably will sketch a bridge on here. I'm going to sketch it. There's no way I'm going to take measures and do all of that. I'm not going to do that because I want it to be I don't know if it comes out contemporary, but if I was doing a painting, which I might do because I am a painter. Well, hello there. How are you today? We're just in really at the beginning stages of talking about how we're going to approach making this beautiful bridge. So I went over at the beginning. You could like rewind, but you'll see all the fabrics I went over that I think you could use, just ideas that you could use to make your fabric bridge. But then to start it, so there are ways. I mean, if you don't sketch or don't draw and you're not really like happy about that, there are, I bet you, and I haven't looked them up, but there's templates on the internet, hundreds and thousands of things, including bridges. I'm for sure on that. You can just print it out. Many of them, there's so many of them free, print it out, and then use it to outline or to cut out your pieces and build your bridge. We're going to build a bridge. So, and I'll bring you along with me. But today I wanted to share with you the bridge that was in my dream because it was so specific. What is a bridge? Um, okay, a bridge, what we're talking, oh, okay, I'm going to show you a picture. Hold on. Bridges that you cross over, walk over. It's not anything, it's like when you take a picture of a bridge. Here, I'm going to show you. So what I did, I think this will work too. I got my it's like a bridge that you cross over. I'll show you here. And let's see if I can get that. So because the bridge was so specific in my dream, I'm like, if it's out there, I'm going to find it. So let's see here. And this is the bridge. Now these are famous bridges. This was a I've never been like anywhere, so it's not like I visited this bridge. This is called the Towers Bridge. Well, good morning. How are you today? So we're just at the beginning. Let's see who that is. I can't see. Robin. Hi. Yeah, we're just at the beginning of starting to talk about like prepping and preparing and getting ready to do this bridge. And I always think the best way is to research. However, this is actually, I probably repeat this for everyone, but it is a bridge I had a dream of. And I found it on my research. This is the bridge. Now, in my dream, let's see if I can point to this building, the front of it, which I have researched, is exactly what was in my dream and what I made a wall hanging out of. And in my dream, they wanted me to hang it at the community library. Well, the next day when I got the email from the town hall, which is very close to library, and this is in another town, to do a bridge or a bridge building, it just floored me because I believe that energy connects for some reason. And I haven't been in this exhibit. They do exhibits often, and I haven't been back over there. So, but this bridge is the bridge that I will be doing. This bridge is the bridge that I will be doing. I'm going to look for different angles of it, but you can see here, if I can point to it, right here, this thing, this part of the bridge. That's lovely. Now, that was not in my dream, just the building. So let's scroll through here because That's called the Towers Bridge in London. It's not the London Bridge. I've never been to London. I didn't even know about the Towers Bridge. Some people might say, well, what must have been in your mind somewhere? But the detail, and I sketched it when I woke up because it was so pronounced, but it was the front of the building of one of these buildings. Very ancient looking. So that's the one I'm doing. Now here's another one. Let me make this, see if I can make it larger for you. This is, oh, this is it too. This is it too. This is it. It's called the Towers Bridge. So you could do that. You could do, this is, I'm going to read this too because this is super interesting. This is the Golden Gate Bridge. If no one has seen it, it is the bridge in San Francisco. And this is 894,500 ton marvel of modern engineering. And it's the longest suspension bridge. Is it in the world? Okay, so let me show you that one. You could do that. I mean, you don't have to do a bridge. I've never seen this either. Maybe some of you have. Now that I can, I want to go back up at the top here because I want to see this one. Yeah, this is, I want to just get that. This is the towers again. Isn't that lovely? That's just gorgeous. Okay, so let me keep going because there's a number of them here for you. This is the Millau Bridge. Now look at the, okay, so you're saying, well, Carmella, why on earth do I want to do a bridge? Now there's a couple things. Seriously, I would never think of doing a bridge. I'm going to tell you right now, the bridges in Vermont are little covered bridges. They're like little long, they're like rectangular boxes, boxed in. They're adorable. They're all over the place. Those are our bridges. Like if I did a bridge, that's the bridge I would do. But I hadn't even thought of a bridge. Like, this is the reason I'm going to go for it. It's stepping out of my element. I'm I'm like, why do I want to step out of my element? But mainly because I want to grow a little bit as an artist. This perspective, I don't even have a clue. I saw this clearly in my dream. I do not know if I can replicate it, even though it was in fabric. It was gray fabric, and it was, I used on my, I'm going to show you what fabric it was. Hold on. It was this fabric, which I have cut. I have cut this, but look, this is on my polar bear. Right now, it's on my polar bear as a saddle blanket, Sashiko stitched with two other pieces of fabric to create a Boro Sashiko piece, inspired piece. I'm almost forgetting my word inspired. That's very important. But the saddle blanket is on the mama polar bear with the baby polar bears. And if you want to see a picture of it, and I apologize, it's not the best picture because I didn't have a lot of light at the guild when I set up my piece, but you can see a picture of it on Patreon. So I'm starting to drop images over there. As I said I would do for May, we will be, there will be more images out there. I will make a lot of those public because I want people to be, I want to be able to share my work. So you'll see a lot of them over there. But this is what it was. So I have to figure out how to incorporate that. Um, let's see here. So bridges. The other thing about bridges is, look at this. Is they, this is let me read it first. I'm going to and then show it. The other thing about bridges is that as you challenge yourself to something like this, because bridges, you're going to see there's a lot of geometrics with it. In other words, the circles, the triangles, the curves, or the straight line. Some of these are challenges. I'm going to tell you the straight line is definitely a challenge for me. I don't even want to do a straight line. When I make a line, I want to make it wavy. I don't know about you, but yeah, totally. So this is called the Rialto Bridge, and it's in Venice. It's a city of 1,000 bridges, but one managed to distinguish itself from the rest and became an architectural icon. Look at this. This was built in 1591. And even though my bridge in my dream had an arch, I knew this wasn't it. But check this out. Oh, and it says um, under the oversight, listen to this, 1591, and it was built with the oversight of architect Antonio de Ponte, whose controversial non-Romanesque proposal outperformed even those of famous Michelangelo. I mean, seriously, let's get a look at this blanket we are making. We'll have a bridge on it. Are you no? Um, I'm not making a blanket. I'm making a wall, like that wall piece up there. And yes, it will be quilted. You could make it a blanket, only if you want to make a bridge. This is really one of those projects that I think I'm more sharing and bringing you along. Now, if you want to jump on board and make a bridge, I think it's a wonderful challenge because yes, it's a picture of a bridge. So this bridge was built in 1591. Look at the architecture. And architecture, as we know, right? It's artwork. I mean, how is it not? Look at that design. I mean, look at the curve and all the arched. I mean, that's just, I almost want to do that more than I want to do the one that I had the dream of. But I feel that when I had the dream, I might do two. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something else. So let me elaborate on Brianna's question because it's such a good question. She's like, are we making a bridge on it? Are we making a blanket? What are you doing, Carmella? I am making a wall piece, a picturesque fabric, Sashiko stitched wall piece. Now, am I going to use Boro? Everything that you know about Boro designs, you know how we did our houses. I thought maybe a bridge would be a connector piece between two conflicting image. Okay, so yeah, so that's the second part of Brianna's question. Excellent. And I've got some really deep thinkers out. Yeah, totally. You can make this metaphorical. I'm actually making a bridge because I literally had a vision of a bridge. But yes, it can be connecting, let's say your dream world to reality. It could be connecting goodness to something that has met its fruition. Um conflict, I love that. I'm forgetting your first name. Is it Laura? Li would be a connector piece between two conflicting. I mean, yes, it could be a connector piece between two conflicting images. And because, I mean, when you think about it, actually, now you've got me thinking, oh, this is not good. Because now I'm thinking, yeah, our brain has the synaptic impulses going on, connecting. Laura. Okay, I wanted to say Laura. I almost said Lori, but Laura. Yes. Thank you. So, yeah, I mean, totally, this could be metaphorical. I was kind of just going for the literal bridge. So that's why, kind of like, the houses we did in Boro and Kwandi designs, and then I painted it and all of that. Did everybody see the houses? Brianna, oh, very creative thinking. I wouldn't have thought to do that. Honestly, I can't wait to see. With it being a large wall art, it could be manageable for me. The small pieces I see many folks put in. A small area makes a heart. Yes, a small area does. Now, I do. This is what I think, and this is what I'm going to do very first. On the piece, this piece, as I was showing in the beginning, and you guys, you can rewind for those who missed the very beginning, only because it's just the fabrics. But this piece is small. This is like 20 by 20. But for me, and I call it prototypes. I'm going to probably draw the picture. First, I'll draw it on a piece of paper, and then I'm going to draw it because this is how I do it. And then I'm going to draw it freehand on here because I want to get the feel, lay of the land, see how it looks. And then if I go larger, yeah. And now the only reason I wouldn't go larger is because it's due in June or the very end of May. Now we're on May 2nd already. I have to finish. I'm going to show you this. Hold on. I've got to finish Polar Bear, the mama polar bear, and I want her to turn like she's turning like that with her foot going like that, but with her baby. So I don't know if the baby is going to be looking out. Polar bear babies tend to be right there with the mom, like underneath the mom somehow. So I gotta finish this for Saturday. So leaves that takes away a couple of days from me. But and that brings us to the 5th. So it only gives me about 2 weeks, really, to finish it. So if I go smaller, that's the reason. But yeah, larger area, but it's totally going to be a wall piece. This wall piece is 40 by 40. That's about 40 by 40. I could manage that, but I might do better on 30 by 30. I love the polar bear and her twins. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Oh yeah, you were well, the twins kind of came to my mind. I was making one tiny one to put in the carrier, but this is what happened. This is what happens as you're going along, you're creating, and then you see a piece. I'm looking for the fabric, but there was a piece of fabric I came across that I thought would make a perfect little saddle bag, or so to put on the saddle blanket. So then I had to make 2 baby bears, and it took me all day. And I was, and with the creating, it took longer. So I was well into the night, woke up, and I was still working on that art piece. Why was it so important for me to get it done by 10 o'clock, which I ended up getting it done at like 10:30? But I wanted, because I had an appointment up at the guild. I had an appointment with my member on a Patreon. I was going live. And so a couple of things like that. And so anyway, a couple of things made me rush. And I probably should not do that to myself. Just, I should probably say, sometime in the near future, the baby bears will be done. No. So, but thank you so much. So let's look at another bridge. Oh, look at this one. Now let me read this first. Sio St. Paul, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's one of the most famous bridges created in the Middle East. So I'm probably not saying it correctly. Featuring an incredible design of 33 arches over the river Zayan Darad. So let me make this larger. This is gorgeous. Look at this bridge. Look at that. 33 arches. So yeah, this is literally a bridge that I want to design. I'm gonna tell you what the challenge is for me. Oh, here's another one. So let me leave this up for a moment while I tell you. So the challenge for me is it going to even look like a bridge when I'm done? I've never made a bridge in fabric. And abstract is my thing. So I could have taken the theme and looked at it metaphorically, but I think this for me is a challenge. So probably I don't know. I might improvise, to be honest with you. Let's see here. This next one is called Starry Most, which means old bridge, I guess, is the most famous bridge design of the Ottoman Turks, and it dates from 1566. It stood over the river Neretva, and I'm sorry, uh, Neretva in the city of Bosnia. Okay, and Herzegovina in almost a perfect untouched state for centuries. Check this bridge out. And yes, Bosnia. I know people from Bosnia. I do not know Bosnia. I hear it's just gorgeous. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, abstract bridge is a great idea. Yeah. Well, that was your idea and Brianna's idea. So, yeah. I mean, metaphorically, abstract. I kind of just start throwing them all together now. Now we're getting there. Now that is an art piece. I think that would take a super long time. I usually need about a month on these fabric, especially when I'm doing Sashiko stitching. Because look, a bridge like this, if you look at think about this for a second though. Think about Kawandi. Now, Laura, I believe you do Kawandi, if I'm remembering correctly. The Kawandi, because you're working around either in your square, your rectangle. Well, guess what? I've done Kawandi in a circle. So this bridge, like being a half circle, this would be almost, I mean, there's not a lot of width. You don't have the width going on to build up that rows of Kawandi going around and around. So yeah, you could use a Boro, a building method, or you could use the Kawandi. So you probably see that, Laura. Look here in this, look at that reflection of this. That's the sun in this photo. Okay, now I'm not saying, copy the photo directly, but I'm saying use it as inspiration. Like you could put a sun with the Kawandi layout and design. We're going to be doing that in a little bit, by the way. Right after this, actually, I'll be doing a video and dropping it over on Patreon on that. But this is gorgeous. That's a perfect circle. So that's just lovely. But look at that bridge. It's been there since the 1500s. Bosnia. Let's see what else we've got for famous bridges. This is the Sydney Harbor Bridge, and it's one of the most known, most photographed bridges in the world. Since its opening in 1932, it managed to capture the imagination of millions of tourists. The architectural symbols of the entire continent. No, wait. Sydney Opera House. Let me read this whole sentence. Since it opened in 1932, it's captured the imagination of millions of tourists in Sydney. Together with the Sydney Opera House, it instantly became one of the most recognizable architectural symbols in the entire continent of Australia. Look at this bridge. Is this not a bridge? Like, seriously, look at that bridge. Um, let's see. I'm trying to read this upside down. I saw the Kawandi mandala. You want to try it? I love Kawandi inspired pieces. Oh, you saw my mandala. Okay. Yeah, I gotta tell you, let me tell you, Laura, really quickly. When I don't know how far back you went, but when I started that, I was totally perplexed. I mean, it was like a breakthrough when I figured out how to go around. Now, I could have gone like, I was struggling because I was like, I wasn't feeling the flow of it. And that was the breakthrough when I actually started laying the pieces down in a flow. And it didn't matter the size of the pieces, it didn't matter the shapes, it just flowed beautifully. But yeah, look at this one. This is gorgeous. And you can add things certainly to your piece, I mean, this is all the thing about I'm noticing, right? And we're going to notice bridges, there's water underneath and there's sky above. And that's another opportunity. And for me, it's another challenge because I don't have it right now, but I'm going to share it with you as I go through this process. I have a piece where I was painting with fabrics, making, some of you may have seen it, making pictures with kind of a Vermont type of deal with the mountains and the sun and then water. So I found some fabrics, and you've seen the fabrics. They're like little teardrops, they're like rain. That's a perfect fabric to kind of use for water. Yes, Kawandi. I find myself doing layout and design in Kawandi without even thinking about it. Seriously, because it's such a natural flow. It's more natural to me than the Boro, and I love Boro. I love it. But the Kawani, there is something about that. I don't know what the whole psychology is of it, but it's lovely. So there's that bridge. And let's see here. Now the next bridge that's famous is called the Akashi Kai Kyo. I'm probably not saying it correctly. I apologize. It's a suspension bridge that connects Japanese mainland to Honshu to the Awaji Island, passing over a dangerous Kachi Strait. Um, it's claimed several passengers on the ferries in the 1950s. It was designed by Satoshi Kashima, who oversaw the construction of the bridge that started in 1988 with a budget of listen to this, $3.6 billion. Let's, oh God, look at this. Look at this bridge. Now, this is another thing you could do. You notice here the mainland, all the little buildings. How adorable is that? Seriously. You see here in this particular one, the bridge on the mainland and going across. Um, so and look, and you know what you notice with the bridges? They're thin, they're wide, they're short, they're long, right? All different characters and designs. Oh, Robin, my favorite too. Let me see. Here, I gotta put this up to read. I seem to do it on a lot of, yeah, the Kawandi. I don't know if it's the flow of going around. I don't even get it. But the other thing I noticed about it, it's because it's closing in, the pieces seem to go quicker. I don't know. With the sewing and the design and layout, it's like, boom, I'm there already. So I definitely want to do some larger pieces in the Kawandi. Now, this is another idea. If you choose to come along with me on the bridge project, think about your background. Think about Boro and Kawandi. You've seen, we have worked looking for my pieces. They're all over at the art guild. I have nothing to grab to show you right now, at least within my reach. But the background could be large pieces using a Boro method of layout, or they could be larger pieces using a Kawandi method of design and layout. So I'm saying, and then you put your bridge over that. Now those pieces have to complement your bridge or whatever you're doing, or if you're, look, you could draw and then paint. I'm playing around with painting in my mind. You can manipulate your pieces more like a sewist and do your Boro, Sashiko, or a Kawandi, whatever the design is for the background, and then get a little manipulative when you're building your bridge. Yeah, Kawandi is very meditative. It could be that. It is. It is. It's lovely. So yeah, I mean, even with that said, the background, if you have a Kawandi, just larger pieces kind of laid out. I'm feeling like I might do that. I don't know. I don't know yet. Because, I had this whole, when we did the village, I had a whole idea, and then everything transformed as we were working on the village. And that's what happens. It takes a life of its own on. So, okay, now, oh, look at this. Okay, hold on. What is this? Okay, this is weird. This is odd, but we're gonna look at this. This next one is called Bridge of Sighs. Sigh, like Sigh, sigh. And no bridge in the world has managed to become such a synonym for a Renaissance period as Ponte dei Sospiri, a small prison bridge that connected government offices with the nearby prison in the center of iconic Italian city of Venice, built in the early years of the 17th century. So I'm going to enlarge this. Is adorable. Serious. Especially, but it's a government building and it's still adorable. Probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but look at the water. That's water. That person is in a boat. Is that a design or is that a design? Let's see. Is that close enough? You can see. So that's totally a bridge building. And let's see what Robin says here. So uh that's a great idea, doing a Kawandi base. I got a bunch of fabric, triangles and circles in the thrift store. Oh yeah. So Robin has got totally gifted with the geo designs, the geo shapes. She already has circles because you cut a circle in half, there's your arch, right? And she has triangles. Oh, we're gonna be coming over and making our bridge with you, Robin. So this bridge is in Venice, but look how tiny it is. I mean, it looks small. It's probably a good size. So let's see. That's famous bridge in Venice. Now, if you put in famous bridges, all these will come up for you. Okay, so the next one is the Brooklyn Bridge, and this was built in 1869, between 1869 and 1883. It's a hybrid cable stayed suspension bridge, is hailed today as one of the oldest surviving roadway bridges in the United States. So let's see, I'm going to get a large picture of this. It's called the New York or the Brooklyn Bridge. So this is, okay, so I actually I've been on this bridge when I was 10 years old, 11, 12, and into my teens a little bit. My mother was an artist, and she would bring me to New York to talk to other artists. I met a few well, one was Romare Bearden. He was I don't know if anybody knows of him, but I think he was well known at that time anyway. But my mom, we went up and met him in his studio, and there were other artists there were cats there. Anyway, we had to go over this bridge to get to New York City. And can remember being a little nervous about it. So that's a beautiful bridge. At night, that's a beautiful bridge. New York. Let's see. Come on over. Southern Iowa. Oh, okay. Well, Iowa. Yeah, I saw some of the storms on there. I hope you're safe. Um, yeah, Iowa straight. I'd have to. Yeah, you're almost parallel to me, actually. I could drive right over. So this next bridge is called Charles Bridge. It's the center of city of Prague. Would not be the same without the presence of the most impressive Gothic. Now, I'm not a Gothic person. I never have been. I've always been bright, cheerful, this and that. I'm not saying Gothic is not cheerful, but it's a design. Gothic structures ever made. Charles Bridge was the centerpiece of medieval Prague road network, and such it was protected by large Gothic towers. Okay, listen to this. It was protected by large Gothic towers to be not only one of the most popular military defense points of the city, but also as a showcase of rich Czech history and art. After centuries of use as a road bridge, today this 515 millimeter bridge serves as a reminder of more than 600 years of European history. That's crazy. Okay, I don't know what this looks like. Let's take a look. Oh, that's gorgeous. See, that building looks like the building in my dream too. But that's similar to the very similar to the towers. Look at that. Look at this building too, right? That's super duper close to that one in the towers. Bridge buildings were in my dream that I used, that I made of a fabric hanging of. But look at that structure. Isn't that just lovely? There's your arches again. So Robin has a jump start on us. She has her circle. Yeah, totally. The background could be a Kawandi, it could be Boro, it could be painted. If you paint, if you use paint, you just don't want to make the acrylic too thick. That's the only thing. And or you could use fabric paint. Let's see here. Now the next one is Chesapeake. This is very simplistic to me, but maybe it's just the photo. So it's the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, and it was completed in 1964. for about $200 million. It's about 7 kilometers long. It connects East Shore region of the United States, Maryland, and the Western Shore part of the United States. So, oh, let me make this larger. Wow. Look at this bridge. I mean, that's super long. There's people out doing the lawn, so I don't know if you hear that. Let's see here. I might be rust dying. Oh, that is let me ask you a question, Robin, just like for all of us. Does it take you a long time to do the dyeing? Because I've done some, but I've done mine with paper. It didn't take long. It's like I'm dipping the paper in when I was doing my junk journals. I love to dye the paper because I love the texture of the water when it dries. I love the colors in tea. Now, I believe we can use tea for fabric also, can't we? That's such a wonderful idea. I love it. I love that idea. So, yeah, this is of something like this being super long, right? You're gonna pull back. You're not gonna make it huge. You're gonna make your pieces thin, smaller, so you can cover more length on your fabric. Yeah, the junk journals are so much fun. We'll have to come back around and do the junk journals. Um, I continue to save pieces that I might use for the junk journals. I just save them. So that's the Chesapeake Bay. And let's see what else we have here. This is the Coronado Bridge in San Diego. Oh, wait. Travel congestion of ferries between the cities of San Diego and Coronado pushed government officials to fast track building of this bridge that will span the wide San Diego Bay in a unique way. After winning the 1978 World Bridge Beauty Contest, look at this bridge. Hey, if a bridge can win a beauty contest, maybe there's hope yet. Look at that bridge. So oh my God, would you think it? So I don't know about you, but I'm thinking point A to point B across here, maybe up and over curved, maybe straight. Look at this curving. This is, what is that called? It's not a 360. That's totally a 90-degree angle, isn't it? Or is it 45? Let's see. Yeah, okay, Robin's saying she lets the fabric sit wrapped in rusty metal 24 hours and then rinse in salt water. Tea dyed fabric is fun too. Okay, but so what Robin's talking about is rusty. How interesting is that? Denise, hi Denise. A curved bridge, yeah. Have you been with us, Denise, or did you just jump on? We've had lots and lots of questions about this bridge project. Yeah, it looks like it's a 45-degree angle. So Denise just jumped on. So Denise, you get a lot of info if you end up rewinding, and because there's a lot we talked about these bridges. So much. But simplistically, I will tell you, I'm looking at a bridge, literally a bridge. We're looking at designs of the famous bridges to give us an idea of what type of bridge we can do for a wall hanging. Now, you can make it a wall hanging, you can make it a blanket, you can make it a table mat. Or, I mean, you don't have to do this, but I'm bringing you with me and sharing because I'm doing a piece for a local exhibit. they sent me an invite. So there were a lot of questions on this. So I think you're going to find it super duper interesting. But yeah, look at this bridge. It's gorgeous. So we're looking at a bunch of famous bridges right now. So Denise is asking, we're building a new bridge from my island to the city. It is very, oh, are you kidding me? It is very, very exciting, almost ready to meet. Oh, you got to take a picture, Denise, and share. How lovely. So Denise is getting her own bridge. Can't make this stuff up. From a new bridge from her island to the city. So Denise is on an island, Corpus Christi. Oh, okay, we're going to do that next. Hold on, we're going to do that while we're live. But we're going through these famous bridges first, and we're totally going to Google Denise's bridge. I just don't want to lose this page. So this is Fourth Bridge. This is called Fourth Bridge, and it's a large 2.467 meter long cantilever bridge. It's located 14 kilometers of Edinburgh city center, which spans the Firth of Forth. That's what it says, with estuary of several Scottish rivers located between the villages of South Queensferry and North Queensferry. Oh, this is gorgeous too. So this is called this was built in 1890. Oh, wow. Look at this bridge. Okay, so how geometrical do you want to get is the question. Robin has her she has, look, she's saying she has triangles. I mean, if you look at these, yes, these are all geo shapes, between or cylinders. You can use the triangles to create intricate designs on your bridges. This is a Scottish bridge. Now, you could improvise and create a bridge, or you can use the Scottish bridge as an inspiration and say that I'm inspired because when I do my piece, if it looks anything like the top, I, no, I'm totally going to say inspired by the Towers Bridge. I love that one. It's amazing. I got ready for work. I'll watch the rest of. Okay, Robin, thank you so much for being with us. Yeah, isn't that inspirational, Denise? Look at that. I mean, and we've just been going through a lot of ancient bridges, but this is really old too. Um, you wouldn't think that far back that you'd have that kind of design. But let's see. They go back, they do like revamp these bridges. So now this one is called uh, this is called the Iron Bridge. The history of this bridge would not be the same without the presence of the Iron Bridge, located in the heart of England, England's Industrial Revolution, and spanning the deep Severn Gorge. This was built between 1777 and 1779. Look at this one. Oh, this is gorgeous. Okay, now this is another idea. This is why I always do my research. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go copy that photo. We don't want to copy the photographs. We want to just get our inspiration. But look at the vegetation. No, I'm thinking we're looking at the bridges, we're seeing the sky and the water, sky and the water. We're actually seeing vegetation, mountains behind the bridge. So how lovely is that? And in Peru they have hundreds of bridges right going through the mountains. So we haven't come across a Peruvian bridge yet. We might. Let's see here. Okay. So there's that. And let's see here. What is next? Next, we have the Mackinac Bridge. I'm not probably saying it correctly. It's 8 kilometers long. It's a bridge previously known as Big Mac or Mighty Mac. It was constructed in 1957 under the oversight of the designer David B. Steinman after decades of deliberations and delays. And I'm trying to find out where it is. This bridge dramatically reduced the traffic congestion in the area, putting people of service numerous ferries and transported people across, here we go, the part of the Great Lakes. Look at this bridge. Let me get this. Oh, look at the water. The first thing I notice is the water. That's a beautiful bridge, though. So, they spent decades designing this bridge. So that is super interesting right there. Went back and forth. It just shows, right? Persistence will get you everywhere. Let's see. There are no pictures of the present project, but there are pictures of what the new one will look like. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, we'll totally gonna check out Denise's bridge next. Let's see here. Now this one is called the Pont du Gard. Ancient Roman architects created many impressive structures, but one of their most enduring one was the aqueduct bridge that crosses Gardon River in France, and as part of the larger Nimes aqueduct, this 48.8 meter tall aqueduct bridge with more than 50 arches. So this is, look at this. Now we saw one previous, look at the arches. Is that gorgeous? I don't know about you, but I'm totally getting an imprint in my mind of arches. So Denise is, we're going to look yours up, but does yours have arches? Do you know? Okay, so that one, that's France. This one, next one is Ponte Vecchio. It's a scenic view of the city center Italian city of Florencia. It's greatly enhanced with the presence of one of the most prized structures, ancient Ponte Vecchio Bridge, that has for hundreds of years housed stores of goldsmiths and artisans. Check this out. I know you've seen this. I've seen this on YouTube. Look at that. So what is happening here? This just shows how detailed you want to get as an artist, how influenced or inspired you are. But look at, these are buildings on the bridge. I I mean, this would be for me, the bridge is a challenge. This would be even more of a challenge. You've got the houses, you've got, as they said, artisans and goldsmiths. This goes back hundreds of years. Make their business on that bridge. Would you work in a building on a bridge? I don't know. There is an I don't know if anyone is here from Vermont, but I gotta tell you, I'm gonna share this story. It's just there's a town here called Middlebury, Vermont. If anyone's ever been to it, it has these little. I should drive up there, honestly. I should and take. I have TikToks of it, TikTok videos of it when I was in an exhibit up there. But I should go up and get some pictures of it. They have little bridges. Excuse me. You're walking on the sidewalk and it turns into a bridge. the dam or the river is raging under the raging. So there's some buildings, and my art exhibit was one. And I'll tell you the name of the art supply store. You may want to look her up. She's wonderful, very, very professional, wonderful person. It's called the Sparrow um, Art Supply Shop. Sparrow, Sparrow. She is right, like you go in to the door that's right next to the bridge. You walk in, you go down, and you can hear the river because it's right underneath the store. So this is something what they're going through in Italy here on this bridge. There you can hear the water while you're buying your art supplies. So it's fascinating to say the least. Would I work there or live in a building? Because there's buildings. So I wouldn't do it. No. Yeah, it's amazing. I want to now that the weather's nice because it's like a 45-minute drive for me, but it's a beautiful drive up there and it's a little artist town. Look it up, Middlebury, Vermont. And maybe I'll do, oh, their bridge is probably out there too. So, well, let's finish up with these bridges and then we can look up Denise's bridge. Oh, that's it. We are done. So let me go back to the top and let's see. Now I'm looking up Corpus Christi Harbor. Is Corpus Christi Harbor Bridge. Okay, there it is. Let's see. Harbor Bridge. The Corpus Christi Harbor Bridge is through arch bridge. I'm sorry, is a through arch bridge in Corpus Christi, Texas, that carries 6 lanes of U.S. 6 lanes. Six of U.S. Route 181, Texas State Highway 35 from downtown Corpus Christi, of Ricken Point, known to the locals as North Beach. Is that the one, Denise? Okay. So there's a couple of pictures here. I'm just going to do this first. I'm going to do this first because I think what's going on here is this is the bridge and this is the design. So I'm going to first bring the bridge up. This is the bridge. Does that look familiar, Denise? Since we have Denise, this is Denise's bridge. I live in North Beach. Okay, so this has got to be, is that lovely? Look at that bridge. Is this your bridge? It's gorgeous. I mean, what's this going down? What's this going down here? Look at this. On both sides, it's like a wave. Yes, that's my bridge. Well, I feel very honored that we have somebody in the audience right here, live, and we've got her bridge up. Seriously, this is gorgeous. This is very inspirational. Now, it's a very high bridge to accommodate the big ships. Does it open up? Yeah, it says, oh, no, it's a through bridge. So they can just go through it. It looks high. It looks very high. But you know, if you look at this too, you see the mainland, you see land. So this is something to consider because I keep feeling like I want to put a tree. There was a bridge we looked at with a tree in the middle. No, it's solid. Oh God. Okay, so let's go back because I want to see. I think this is your design. Is this design issues resolved in delayed 18 18 something Corpus Christi Harbor. What must be 18 million? I bet you any money. That's gorgeous. I mean, this is only part of it. This is this is part of it. That's for I'm gonna tell you though, I like the other bridge. Um, I tried to walk it, but couldn't because of vertigo. Oh God, Dave, don't go on the bridge. Vertigo. I'm gonna tell you a story. Vertigo started with me in my mid 50s, and at that time I was doing um I had this other job cleaning. I was getting up on ladders, and I had stepped out of management for a bit. I needed a break from it. I went back into it because guess what? I'd get up on a ladder and vertigo would hit. So don't go on the bridge, Denise. The new bridge will be very different. It is a very steep hill. Oh, okay. Now that's okay. So there's a bridge. I want to say it's in at Asia. It's in maybe China, possibly, but it's going up, like up, 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 very steep. Um, yeah. So now, what was the other bridge I was going to show you? I should have jot this down as we go along. I can show you a covered bridge. And has anybody ever seen covered bridges? You probably have, especially in Iowa. Um, they they because they're usually in farm country covered bridge, but this is another type of bridge, is the covered bridge. I don't want to exclude it just because I'm in Vermont and I see them all over the place. I really don't want to exclude, but this is a good picture of one. Yeah. This is a covered bridge. Um yes, there's a Sturbridge, Massachusetts. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've been to Sturbridge when I was a kid, so let me put that one up. I love that one. Um Sturbridge, Mass Bridge. Yeah. And see here. Yeah, here we go. It gave me Vermont again. Huh. I'll try it again. Okay, well, this might, let's see here. Sturbridge. Here we go. It's that funny. I'm not getting the Sturbridge Townships. This is another covered bridge, but it's not the bridge I'm thinking of. Um yeah, but yeah, I mean you can totally do even more research, get out there, see what bridges strike you. Maybe you make what bridges strike you. Maybe you make up your own. Maybe you do like some of the ladies were talking about earlier, metaphorical bridges, abstract bridges. I find the challenge in manipulating more of a concrete bridge, graphic bridge like that. Anyway, I think that brings us to the next step. So, what I would say is play around with the ideas that we talked about, your approach. Now, for me, I'm definitely going to be testing out different ways to do this. I most likely, in a case like this, especially when it's for an exhibit. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Now I gotta do this. Middlebury Bridge. Here it is. Middle covered bridge. Middlebury. Oh, they got more bridges in Woodstock, Vermont. Those are tiny bridges over there. Um, very tiny, but very well kept up. Middlebury, Vermont bridges. I am going to make a day trip and bring you with me. I'm telling you, I think that's what I'm going to do, especially if it's nice next week, because I want to do that now. Now I have to do it because I miss, there's a bakery up there I can bring you to. Um, this is Middlebury Gorge. This isn't a really good picture, but let me just explain. They're not showing you this, but there's towns around this bridge. So you walk over the bridge and then, yeah, the building is right there. This water, when that rises and it's rushing, oh man, what an effect. But, and so the layout of this changes. So it changes as you're in the town. So I'm going to try to capture that for you there. It's a very artistic town. They probably have their artists uh, they have like sculptures outside. So I will take videos of that too again, and of they have exhibits there you can look up and enter even if you're at a distance. You don't have to be right here. People can send things in the mail and whatnot. But yeah, that's Middlebury Gorge. So yeah, so I will be testing out different things. And so I like that we're focusing more on Monday through Friday. And yes, I do want to go more. I might jump on here tomorrow live for YouTube and share with you how far I've gotten. I think that would help you before the weekend. But you're all artisans. I'm sure you know how to jump into this. But I'll share with you because this way, I want to share with you um, the the information I got. It's in my folder, but I want to share you the information I got on the exhibit. I want to talk to you a little bit about preparing for an exhibit. If some of you haven't ever been in an exhibit, I encourage you to, especially locally, get into an exhibit because you get to meet other artisans that way. Um, and so I'll probably jump on. I'm before the weekend because I'll need the weekend. I'll be up at the Art Guild in Milton, Vermont. They're having a festival celebrating their 7th anniversary. I didn't know about it, or maybe I did and I didn't read it. But I'm going to be up there helping out a little bit, or just being there to enjoy it. If they need help, I'll be there, right? So that's Saturday. And I will be, depending what's going on, excuse me, I'll be I'll be either doing clips and editing them, and I still have others to do to share with you, or I'll be going live, which would be the best on YouTube. I and I know we said we're not going live on Saturdays, but this would be for a few minutes to give you an idea on what's going on up there. Because it will be artists sharing their demos like I do. They will be doing their demos. Um, so there is a walking suspension over a stream on the Appalachian Trail just north of Stratton Mountain, similar to those Peruvian bridges. Oh, I didn't know. Stratton Mountain here in Vermont, you're saying, because the Appalachian Trail. And it so really it's similar. Oh, That would be a fun visit, huh? I walked it 1996. Yeah, okay, Stratton. Stratton is beautiful, isn't it? It really is. Um, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, you know what? If I visited it, I probably wouldn't walk over it. Just saying. I mean, I'm with you with the vertigo thing. I don't need to test out that vertigo at any time. You must I will check that out, and, I'm gonna do my notes. Usually I keep a pen right next to I do have a pen. Let me write down why we're talking about it. So, I'm totally going to Middlebury. Have you been to Middlebury, James? When I was walking, 2 other hikers made it oh my god, that's not cool. Yeah, it's suede. Okay. Stratton, I think, is a ways from me. I'm up here in northern Vermont, but no, Stratton can't be too far. So we're gonna do Middlebury trip at some point, and Stratton. I mean, I'll see how far Stratton is from me. I just clung on and oh, I gotta tell you, I think it is. I do. I think it's beautiful that people go to the Grand Canyon or they go to these bridges and they go to cliffs and they do mountain climbing. I do. But for me, I got to have both feet on the ground. I do. And I got to tell you, I get a funny feeling on a bridge. So it's got a covered bridge. I'm okay because guess what? If it falls, it's falling like 5 feet, most of them here in Vermont. I just clung on if he got across. Oh, Denise, I'll tell you, that's funny. Yeah, you can't be too sure of yourself, I think, on these things. I would love to get to some bridges. Now we do have some nearby. So I wish I kind of knew like this project I just got the info on and I only have a month to work on it. I just got it in my email Saturday night, or else I would have more time to research. I gotta tell you, it's not gonna be a complicated piece. It's just not. I don't have time for it. Um, and the water goes under the hammock-shaped rocks, hot sandstone in the freezing water. Oh, I know, right? Nature is gorgeous. And nature is so inspiring because you can do art and say eh, nature inspired. We do cultural inspired, but we can say nature inspired, right? And it gives other people ideas too. I went down, let the water pound my back, and laid on the hot rock. Awesome. That was in the Appalachian. This is beautiful country. I think that's why I'm still here. It's Vermont is not an easy place to be. And I'm not saying because of country. I would tell you years ago, decades ago, that it would be a difficult place to be because of the back roads and how they get in the spring and how they are in the winter and the steep. But now it's because of the economy, Vermont, and I know it's across the nation, but Vermont is I think kind of up there with the difficulties. Yeah, God's jacuzzi. You gotta love it. Well, we do have some gorges here, and we've got some notches. Well, Denise, if you come up, I'd love to visit with you. Really, I mean, YouTubers get together all the time. The van life YouTubers get together on the road all the time, but you don't see YouTubers like having a conference and getting together. How wonderful would that be? But there are, I think, you know, um, destinations that travelers will go to, and sometimes, but yeah, Vermont is beautiful. Um, but it's changed. if you know, Vermont, Burlington, Vermont has changed dramatically. It's not the little town you used to know at all. So many, many, many businesses have closed down there. So, but you know, things are changing. That's the business world. But the nature part of it, the natural jacuzzis, and you know, the bridges and the mountains, thank goodness those are all so far the same. With that, I will let you have the rest of the day. I'm going to lose my voice in a minute. And so I got to get a hot coffee. Um, you can get to that walking bridge by the road. There's a picnic park there. Okay, I'm gonna look that up with Stratton. If Stratton is within an hour of me, then I can. And I think it. I don't think it's too far. I'm trying to remember Stratton Mountain. Um, but yeah, I'll look it up, Denise. And we got it on our agenda. So, how inspirational, though, for us artists to be able to get out there in nature. So, I will focus on that. But Middlebury next week on a nice day, we're heading to Middlebury. You and me, all of us, we're going. So, with that, I hope that that helps with your bridges. Tomorrow, I will check in with you. I'll do a quick, just jump on here. It most likely, I'm thinking, would be more towards the afternoon, I'm going to say, because what's tomorrow? Friday. So I'm going to say between 2 and 3. I'm going to write that down because I will be back on and I'll show you how I start, how I'm starting, because I've got to start it. And I've got to finish my polar bear. Um, and she's almost done, but I have to get into the designing of her garments. So that's next. And so I'll be working on her today and then starting the bridge today. And I'll share with you tomorrow on that Thursday between 2. So that will be before the weekend and we can connect. If you want, you know, this is not projects you have to do. We've got 10 others out there on the burners. It is the north side of the mountain. Yeah, let me see here. Hold on a second. Um, let me put Stratton, Vermont to. Okay, so Stratton is almost 3 hours from me. Um, I'm more north. It's 2 hours and 44 minutes. But you know what? It doesn't mean I can't take a trip down there at some point. That distance, I would go with someone. And maybe we can make it happen. And it's something to work on for sure. At the very least, you know what we could do? We could do a we can look up those images too. I mean, that's the second best way to see what's out there. Of course, the first is to be in nature, but yeah, I would love to get to that place, to that bridge. Um, and anyway, with that, we will see you tomorrow. Be safe. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy the sunshine. Get the vitamin D. Be healthy and love and light your way.